Hi, welcome. This is chapter 11, test review. Now there's more questions in this on the test, but these are the new ones from today. So make sure you study over this video multiple times and make sure you add your name. Okay, so now this is a blank one, but you should actually have notes here from class. And now in class, we actually worked this question together, and it looks something like this. So we had this question. When you see a question like this on the test, you see a secant line and a tangent line, a secant and a tangent. And so that's why you know that it's a question 13. And the formula goes the whole secant times the part of the secant on the outside times the whole tangent and the part of the tangent that's on the outside. Well, notice that's the same number. So if you look at question 13 on your reference sheet, it says PA, that's our secant line, the part on the outside and the whole thing is the same thing, so we end up just squaring it. Pretty cool pattern there. So we took the whole thing, which would be y plus 8 plus 14, that's the whole thing, times the part on the outside, that's just this 14 segment, and then we multiplied it by 18, and we squared that. So we ended up getting, for this part y, 1.14, and we kept that in our calculator, and then we did the easier version where we just wanted to take 1.14 times 8 should equal to 4 times x. So that's the part of the problem, that's question 15. 4 times x is equal to this decimal times 8. And that will help us find x. So when we did that, we multiplied that number times 8 and 4 times x. When we divide 4 on both sides, we get 2.28. Okay, so 2a, this one's an easier one. It's just the inside. And we said if two chords are stuck inside of a circle, and it creates, if they cross, it cuts these into two smaller parts. And thousands of years ago, they noticed that these two numbers ended up being equal to the product of these two numbers. So setting up that same part, this part times this part has to equal this part times that part. We end up getting a pattern that we noticed in question 15. So in our notes, we noticed they made an observation. If that part was 8 and that was 3, if that part was 6 and that was 4, they noticed that the product of those two numbers on the left were equal to the product of the two numbers on the right. And that's the same pattern we set up here. So that would be 75. So we just divide by 8 in order to get it by itself. And it says round to the nearest hundredth. So I get this for my answer. If I'm going to round the 7, which is in the hundredths place, the number 5 tells me to round it up. So my answer would be 9.38. Now you should think about this reasonably. Is 9 times 8 about equal to 5 times 15? So 9 times 8 is 72. So it does make sense that 9.38 times 8 would be pretty close to 5 times 15, and that's the pattern. Good job. All right, so here we have one like question 14, which is our secant. So we have a line that cuts through and another line that cuts through, and there was a pattern thousands of years ago they noticed. They noticed the whole thing times the part on the outside is equal to this whole thing times that part on the outside. The whole times the part on the outside has to equal the whole of the other one times the part on the outside. So the word whole should make you think of add, because it is segment addition for sure. So it says DC or CD is 6 given, BC is 9 given, and AB, the chord, is 17. Cool. So the whole thing here would be x plus 6, and the part on the outside is 6. The whole thing here is 17 plus 9, and the part on the outside is 9. So on this side, if I distribute, I get 6x plus 36. On this side, I get 17 plus 9, so the whole thing is 26 times the number 9. Okay, so now we just got a few more steps of algebra. All right, and then we think about this from a reasonableness. Is the whole thing, so that would be 39, is in fact 39 times 6 equal to 26 times 9? You could double check that. 39 times 6 is 234. The whole thing has to be 39. 33 and 6, the whole thing would be 39, so 39 times 6. And then the whole thing times the part on the outside. So the whole thing here, 17. So